Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday Morning Mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next Monday Morning Mailbag airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the September 1st, 2025 episode of Second Cup. My gosh, autumn is right around the corner. It's Labor Day here in the United States. This is summer's last hurrah, the unofficial ending of summer. Of course, we have 3 more weeks of summer weather to go. We'll be switching over to autumn. That autumnal equinox will happen, I think, on September 22nd. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And then we'll start getting into that cool fall weather. But you know what? This past weekend has been cool fall weather. I'm recording this a day ahead of the Labor Day holiday. And last night it went down to 45 degrees. It was cold last night. My gosh, I would venture a guess that some folks had their furnace kick on. It was cold last night, and it has been very, very cool. The rain has gone away. We had rain probably midweek, but the rain is out of the picture. Right now I'm looking at some beautiful blue skies with some white clouds in the air, and it's on the cool side. It's probably, I would say, I would guess in the 60s. Let me ask Alexa. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 73 degrees.
Well, there you go. It's going to be 73 degrees. It's going to be low humidity, I gather, and it's just going to be a very, very pleasant summer day. But yeah, we're getting off to a cool start. And so we're enjoying a cup of coffee this morning to kind of warm things up. I'm enjoying the actual break and all the hot weather we've had throughout August, although I don't really think August has been really that hot. You know, the dog days of summer that occur in August, we get these really, really hot days. I don't think we really had that this past August. But very, very delightful day today, and I hope the weather is delightful where you're at. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. We are enjoying right here. There's the bag of coffee right there, courtesy of viewer James Sefton. James, thank you again very, very much. Wawa coffee, smooth and mellow, our classic blend. Wawa, because wow, what a game on Saturday. I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. That's why I'm using my Fiesta pedestal coffee mug, this big coffee mug, because on Saturday it was a big game in Columbus, Ohio, between the Ohio State Buckeyes and Texas, University of Texas. What a game. To be honest with you, folks, it could have gone either way. That was a defensive fight from beginning to finish. Both teams were just top-notch. Number 1 ranked Texas against number 3 ranked Ohio State University. And I tell you, I have got to hand it to Texas's quarterback, Arch Manning. My gosh, that young man showed a lot of poise on the field. Now, just think of this, all right? Arch Manning, his full name is Archibald Charles Manning. He was born April 27th, 2005 in New Orleans, Louisiana. He's the grandson of Archie Manning, nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, and son of Cooper Manning. That's 3 generations of elite football DNA. He played for Isidore Newman School in New Orleans, where he was a 4-year starter. He's known for his poise, arm strength, and athleticism. He was the number 1 overall recruit in the 2023 class. He committed to the University of Texas, choosing it over other powerhouse programs. He spent 2 seasons backing up Quinn Ewers before being named the starting quarterback for the 2025 season. He made his debut against Ohio State this past Saturday, a tough outing where he threw for 170 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception in a 14-7 loss. Despite the struggles, he showed flashes of brilliance and mobility, rushing for 38 yards and avoiding sacks. I have got to hand it to Arch Manning. That young man showed a lot of poise and dignity on the field. Think about it, that background that he comes from. Everybody knows who he is coming into the Horseshoe Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. All the players on the opposing team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, they know that that's the guy they have to hone in on. And they know his background. They know who his uncles are. They know who his grandfathers are, who his grandfather is. They know the family legacy. The football tradition that runs through that family. Texas is ranked number 1 coming in to Ohio State, playing an away game against the number 3 ranked team. That is a lot of pressure to put on a young man in his debut. My goodness. And I thought he handled himself very, very well on the field. A great sportsman and a great athlete. So I have to, my hat is off to that young man. And I think everyone is expecting great things from him. And I'm definitely going to follow his career going forward now, because I think he is going to really blossom into quite the football player and quarterback. And you know what? Again, hats off to everyone at the University of Texas. Number 1 ranked team coming in. It was a tough, tough game. It could have gone either way. And you know what? This is just the start of the season. Anything can happen. Just think about last season when Ohio State lost to that team up north, and we couldn't win for like the last, 4 or 5 seasons. We kept getting beat by that team, and somehow we pulled off a national championship despite losing to that team up north. And that was the big debate last year. Would you have preferred to beat that team up north and not go for a national championship, or, the way it turned out, to lose to that team up north and then end up winning the national championship? Boy, that was a lot of folks debating that one. So again, the season is young. It's just the first game of the season. Anything can happen. That was a real tough outing for a young, talented quarterback, and I think he handled it very, very well. And as I say, anything can happen this season. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on Texas, because I think that team is going to do great, great things, because you're going to see a lot of other upsets this college football season. You're going to see some teams that are powerhouses that are just going to be turned upside down on the field, and they're not going to know what the heck hit them. And could happen to Ohio State as well. So it's just a great pastime to indulge in college football, and it was a great game. And as I say, that game could have gone either way. It was such a defensive battle. So my hat's off to everyone at the University of Texas, and a big tip of the hat to their quarterback, Arch Manning, who I thought was just a fine young man on the field and really held himself with a lot of poise and a lot of dignity, and expecting great things from him. I think he really is the big winner coming out of this game, because a lot of people are going to be looking at him for sure. So how are you this morning? Great to be with you. I hope the weather is beautiful where you're at. I hope your favorite team won this past weekend, and I hope whoever played on Sunday in the pros, I hope that team of yours also won. We got a great show for you this morning. Going to do some catch up on some things that we missed mentioning to you on the Monday Morning Mailbag this morning. I got my big Fiesta Pedestal coffee mug right here and some Wawa coffee. Thanks again to James Hefton. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Let's pay a few bills and we'll get the show underway in just a moment. Well, wanted to give you a quick overview of some Labor Day sales that are going on right now. Shave Nation has a Labor Day sale. Treat yourself to your favorite products or the razor you've been waiting to buy. You deserve it. Take 15% off your purchase of $50 or more. And of course, the sale wraps up today being Labor Day, so check that out. We'll link that below. Use the code Labor Day at checkout, all caps. Labor Day, all caps. Use that at the checkout. The Sudsy Soapery has a Labor Day sale. Save up to 25% off plus $2.99 to ship. That's pretty good. 25% off and $2.99 shipping. That ends tomorrow, September 2nd, 2025. At 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. So get up there and double check out that ending date. That's what I'm seeing in their flyer here. So you might want to go up to the Sudsy Soapery and check that out. But today being Labor Day, the sale is definitely in effect. And I think it extends into tomorrow evening, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. But double check me on that. Also, Rockwell Razors has a Labor Day sale going on. Save up to 20% off, and we'll definitely link Rockwell Razors below. If you've been waiting for a Rockwell razor to add to your shave den, now might be a very, very good time. Get up to 20% off. We'll definitely link Rockwell Razors below, where you can check out all their offerings for Labor Day. So that's just a quick overview of what came in the email regarding Labor Day sales. We'll have all those links below, folks. Give them a look. Now, here's something that is really, really wonderful to hear. I received this from viewer Barry Bedford, and he writes, "Good morning, Mark. I am not sure if you are aware, but I am a member of an Instagram live show called Shave Masters, along with Doug Embry and John Bonham. We have a live show every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We do a live shave and have many sponsors who send us products to give away. I do a segment called The Shaving News, and John does a segment on scent notes. We joined up with Sovereign Bean Coffee and made a collaboration. We think this is a wet shaving first. It is called Shave Masters Mocha Java." How about that? The Shave Masters have their very own coffee, Shave Masters Mocha Java. That is marvelous. We would love to send you a bag and hope you try it out on your next Monday morning mailbag. I accept. Absolutely, I accept. This is wonderful. Just let me know if you would prefer ground or whole bean. Well, I already asked for ground because it's a little more convenient to brew a cup of coffee just as I'm getting to record things and that sort of thing. And he sent along a link where you too can get some Shave Masters Mocha Java coffee. This is absolutely wonderful from Barry Bedford, a Texan shaves. We will link his YouTube channel below. We'll also link to the Instagram live show called Shave Masters. We'll get you a link to that as well. This is really, really wonderful. I am really looking forward to trying this coffee out. Now, it is still on its way to my front door, and it should be here before the next Monday morning mailbag airs. So we're going to be using that on the very next Monday morning mailbag. I am really looking forward to this. This is wonderful. This is a first, a shaving channel that has collaborated with a coffee company to create their very own coffee named after their shaving channel. The Shave Masters Show Coffee Collaboration, Shave Masters Mocha Java. I'm looking at the product page right here. This is absolutely marvelous. There's nothing like the perfect shave and a great cup of coffee to start the day. That's why our collaboration with the Shave Master Show was a natural match, uniting two morning rituals into one unbeatable experience. How about that? It goes on to say here, the Shave Master Show was created to provide a unique alternative program for wet shavers. We wanted to do a show just about shaving. Our production previews hardware and software products, both modern and vintage. The broadcast features the big artisans and more so, the smaller, less-known artisans new to the scene. You can follow us on Instagram at Shave Masters for show times and more. The Shave Masters crew, how about that? That is terrific. And here's what they have to say about the Shave Masters Mocha Java. It's a medium roast. Mocha Java, one of the world's oldest and most celebrated blends, combines rich Java coffee from Indonesia with the distinctive mocha beans from Yemen. The result is a smooth, well-rounded cup with bright cherry notes, warm wood tones, and a touch of dark chocolate. Hints of herbs and florals add depth, while the dry, lingering finish leaves you wanting another sip. And I am definitely going to want another sip for sure when I get this coffee. I'm really looking forward to it. Stay tuned on the next Monday Morning Mailbag. We will be debuting and featuring Shave Masters Mocha Java Coffee. A big, big thank you to Barry Bedford, a Texan Shaves, as well as Doug Embry and John Bonham, all part of the Shave Masters crew on their Shave Masters live show on Instagram. Again, we'll have all those links below. Again, my thanks to Barry, Doug, and John. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much. Well, I received this email from Phoenix Shaving, and it describes the entire story behind their shave soap scent, CAD. That's capital C, lowercase a, capital D, and that stands for cease and desist. Now, Douglas sent out the entire backstory here that I want to share with you because viewers from time to time will send me an email or make a comment below some of the video reviews. Why is it called CAD? And what's it an homage to? And that sort of thing. Well, here, Douglas tells the entire story without really naming the particular scent, particular product that they're paying homage to. So let's get right into it right here. The story of CAD. CAD, the troublemaker, our rebel, our legend. If Phoenix Shaving had a firstborn that grew up to throw punches and charm the crowd at the same time, it'd be this guy. But let me rewind the tape. When Fran and I first began this wild artisan ride, we didn't just want to whip up new scents for the people. We wanted to pay tribute, pay homage to the giants that came before us, those legendary morning whiffs of talc and citrus that inspired generations of men to splash some water on their face and get after it. Scents that carried us through wars, breakups, promotions, Tuesday mornings, you name it. We owed them big time. So I set out to create an homage, and oh boy, did we get more than we bargained for. Now here's the subheading, Barber Soul, and in parentheses, R.I.P., meaning rest in peace. In my mind, there was one obvious target, a certain vintage, all-American canned cream. You can hear the psh in your head already, right? Note, the operative word is vintage. It was the discontinued scent of my youth, the definition of barbershop fresh, a lost powdery fougere perfection. I released it as Barber Soul, just a few hundred tubs, soap only. Remember, this was back in the dark ages when artisans didn't yet realize folks wanted matching aftershaves and colognes. Imagine that. And then cue the lawyers. Wow, the cease from the beast. Within 24 hours, we had a letter, too close to their branding. Our red, white, and blue barber pole smiley face was a no-go. Fine, I pivoted. I renamed it Barber Pole. Boom, another letter. They own the pole and the colors. Okay, really? I stripped the stripes, left the floating smiley face, changed the name again, Barber Pole, instead of one word, two words now. The barber pole was one word. Now he changed it to two words, barber, and then the second word pole. And they said, still too close. By the end of the week, the phrase cease and desist was flying around our shop so much we shortened it to just CAD, capital C, lowercase a, capital D. And then it hit me, you old cad. It was perfect. a name born of gonzo soap making, smirking right back at the suits, trying to squash us. Here's the subheading here, a boat in the desert. So for the art, I went full absurdist. Me in a lab coat, oarless in a boat somewhere in the Arizona desert. A metaphor for us as artisans who were going absolutely nowhere, which at the time felt dead on. So instead of sinking, CAD sailed. From that day on, all the way back in 2014, CAD became one of our most popular scents. No gimmicks, no hype machine, just the raw power of nostalgia and barbershop soul doing the heavy lifting. The CAD legacy. Fast forward 11 years and CAD hasn't budged an inch. Never reformulated, never discontinued, never out of the rotation. Not to mention, this is the scent that many credit with kicking off the whole artisan barbershop boom. If Phoenix Shaving had a Mount Rushmore, CAD's mug, or should I say shave mug, would be dead center, probably grinning, maybe dusted with talc, definitely up to no good. But what is CAD? While I can't legally tell you which striped can inspired it, let's just say if you've ever shaved to the soundtrack of hissing foam and that oh-so-fresh talky scent, you already know the DNA of CAD. Here's the thing. CAD isn't just another scent. It's a rite of passage, a gateway drug into the world of Phoenix Shaving. So for many of you, it was your first puck, your first splash, the moment you realized shaving didn't have to be a chore and it could be fun. And yet, even after exploring a galaxy of scents, you keep coming back to CAD because some scents don't just stand the test of time, they define it. So whether you're a veteran of the lather wars or a fresh recruit, welcome. Grab your gear, suit up, splash on CAD, and stay calm because this legend isn't going anywhere and it's about time you pick some up. How about that? That's fantastic. And let me go a little more in depth for you right here. Now, I went into Bing AI and I typed in the following question. Phoenix Shaving makes a shave soap called CAD. What scent is this an homage to? And again, Douglas can't legally say this. I guess I can't legally say this maybe, but this is AI saying it. So I guess we found a loophole. And here's what AI has to say. Phoenix Shaving CAD Shave Soap is a nostalgic homage to the classic American barbershop scent many remember from their first shaving experience, specifically the iconic red, white, and blue striped can of Barbasol shaving cream. While Phoenix Shaving playfully avoids naming it outright, the scent profile is unmistakably inspired by that clean, powdery aroma that defined generations of morning routines. Here's the scent profile of CAD. Talc, soft and powdery, like a freshly dusted neck after a barber's touch. Rose and bergamot, a refined floral citrus blend, timeless and fresh. Oak moss and vetiver, earthy and grounding, evoking tradition. Coumarin and musk, smooth, clean, and subtly masculine. It's not just a scent, it's a time machine. CAD captures the essence of stepping into manhood, fumbling with your first razor, and the comforting scent of foam lingering in the air. How about that? All from AI. So I guess they can't legally touch Douglas because Douglas didn't write that. AI wrote that. And I didn't write it. AI wrote it. And here's one other thing that AI included at the end of that. Mark, I imagine this kind of scent memory might resonate with your storytelling instincts. Ever thought about weaving a shaving memory into one of your Boom Lather episodes? Here, I'm going to have to do it because I'm low on CAD and I think I'm going to order more. Folks, we'll have a link to CAD below. Check it out, a wonderful barbershop scent. Well, we've also got some news from Sterling Soap Company. Their fall release 2025 has just dropped. And as they write here, Our fall release is live on the website. We can't believe Labor Day weekend is already here, but we are certainly ready for summer to pass the baton off to fall. The product lineup is similar to last year, but we've added Burgundy, bath soap only, and Sweet Pecan, bath soap, candle, wax melt only. Read on for more details on this launch, or click the button below to see all the products. We will have that link below so you can click on that and check out all the products. But here's what they have in store. Autumn Glory, a difficult aroma to put into words. Imagine walking through the damp woods on a brisk fall morning with the falling leaves in all their autumn glory. That's the scent. Oud Sigma. You don't need a second brain to understand the appeal of this woody and spicy scent. Based on Polo Supreme Oud, this is a blend of oud, agarwood, guaiac wood, vetiver, cinnamon, and pink pepper. How about that? Carmichael. This scent is very sensual with notes of leather, vanilla, and powder up front. It is perfect for day or night. Altogether, it has top notes of green tea, bergamot, and rose, a woody middle of sandalwood, cedar, and jasmine, and a base of leather, vanilla, amber, musk, and oak moss, inspired by Bulgari Black. How about that? And they also have some others here. Pumpkin spice, a seasonal blend of pumpkin, allspice, and nutmeg. How about that? That has cinnamon in it, just so you know. They also have hot apple cider. Apples, cinnamon, and clove make for a perfect scent as the weather turns cool and the trees turn. Deton 8, DETON-8. Deton 8. This scent is inspired by Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf. It's spicy and a little sweet with notes of pepper, saffron, tobacco, leather, chili, vetiver, and bergamot. How about that? And of course, they go on to talk about their burgundy bath soap and their sweet pecan pie scent. And some great fall offerings from Sterling Soap Company. We'll link them below. Now, I wanted to give you an update from this morning's Monday Morning Mailbag. Viewer Mike H. mentioned some of his favorite razor blades that he likes to use. Of course, at a previous Monday Morning Mailbag, we had that discussion, and we wanted to know from viewers out there, what are your favorite blades and maybe your not so favorite blades? Well, Mike went on to list some of his favorite blades, but he also mentioned one particular brand that he wasn't too fond of. He qualified his answer, though, by saying, look, I don't want to knock anyone else who uses these blades. They just don't work for me, so your mileage may vary. Of course, we understand that, Mike, but I've also heard from Jamie Horn, who used these blades, and if I recall correctly, he didn't care for them that much either. These are Zaza blades, Z-A-Z-A. I'm holding a pack right here, and these came from viewer William Meredith. And thank you again very, very much, William. He sent these along with some other great stuff. One other item was the Phoenix Shaving Alpha Ecliptic Slant Razor. Boy, that is a terrific razor. We reviewed that razor using the Zaza blades that came with it. Thank you again, William, very, very much. And I got a nice shave. And I didn't really think that less of the Zaza blades. I like them, although I have to admit I haven't regularly reached for them. There are other blades out there that I prefer, and I really haven't reached for a Zaza blade. So it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've went to use a Zaza blade. Now, this falls back into the category of setting something aside and coming back to it with a fresh perspective. So this fits in very nicely with the routine, so to speak, of setting a piece of shaving gear aside and then coming back to it a while later. And it's been probably a good year or so since I've used the Zaza blade, so I am really approaching it with a fresh perspective. And I've had 2 shaves with 2 new Zaza razor blades. That is to say, I used the Zaza razor blade in an R89 razor, and then I used a brand new Zaza razor blade in this, this is a Razor Rock Godfather razor clone. I just reached for this one here, and the next shave I'm going to actually use the Godfather razor. But if you've seen The Godfather by Vikings Blade, you'll know what this Razor Rock clone looks like. And it really is a terrific razor, kind of patterned after Gillette Tech. That is to say, the razor head is kind of patterned after Gillette Tech. I like this razor a lot. Now, both the clone and the Vikings Blade Godfather, very, very mild. The R89, very, very mild. And that's why I use those razors, because they're mild. And I wanted to use a Zaza razor blade in each of those razors. Again, a new blade in each razor. And I got to tell you, I got a spectacular shave. I was really surprised. And I'm not just saying that. I just think there's something about the Zaza razor blade that works really, really well in mild razors. The R89, I had a two-pass shave. Very, very good. It was upper darn fine shave, approaching BBS. I probably should have done a third pass, but I wanted to see what kind of feedback I would get from the Allen block. Just smooth and cool as an ice cube. It was wonderful. So high marks for that first shave with the Zaza blade in the R89. And for this second shave in the Godfather clone from Razor Rock, I did 3 passes. Again, brand new Zaza blade, upper darn fine shave. Oh, and by the way, I was working on 2 days worth of beard growth. It was wonderful. I really, really liked it. So again, this falls right into what we've been talking about, having a piece of shaving gear that might not work for you the first time out. Set it aside, come back to it later. And that's what I did with these Zaza blades. You can bet I'm going to be reaching for these blades again. I like them. They worked really, really well for me. I was very surprised. The first time out with the Alpha Ecliptic slant razor from Phoenix Shaving, I got a nice shave. I think I had a little more blade feel with that particular razor and blade combination. It was a good shave. I liked it. Perhaps the slant configuration of that razor head changed up the feel of this blade in some way to where maybe I should set these aside, that sort of thing. But when I came back to them in mild razors, boy, I got some great shaves, some really, really terrific shaves. So I got to tell you, glad I got the Zaza blades. I'm going to be using them again. However, I'm going to limit my use to mild razors only. Because I think they just pair up wonderfully well in mild razors. So my next razor I'm going to use is going to be my Timeless Bronze razor because that's a beautifully mild razor. So we're going to put in a Zaza blade in the Timeless Bronze razor, and I'm going to do a review. I'll probably review either with one of 3 of those razors. I don't know which one I'm going to review it with. Maybe the Godfather from Vikings Blade, because I haven't used that one on camera in a while, and I think that'll be a good one to use because it's a good mild razor. It comes in a nice price point, and there are other razors that are similar to it that are also very, very affordable. So for anyone looking for a good, affordable, mild razor, that might be a good one to look at. Perhaps that's why we'll do the review with that particular razor. But these Zaza blades, these were really good. I was really surprised. I really was surprised. So to Mike and Jamie and anyone else out there who was not that impressed with the Zaza blade, get a mild razor and pop in a Zaza blade and let me know how the shave goes for you, because these last 2 outings with the Zaza blade, and again, it's been a good year or so since I've used them. I came in there with a fresh perspective, a mild razor, and I got a really, really terrific shave. I liked it a lot. So a big, big thank you to William Meredith for very kindly sending these along to the channel, along with all that other great gear. William, thank you again very, very much. But the Zazas, these are now a standout for me. I really, really enjoyed them. So I wanted to give you that update, and we'll get a review done so you can see more of the Zaza blade in action on camera. So I'll just sum up. The Zaza blade, for me, is a good middle-of-the-road razor blade. When installed in a mild razor, it gives me a very smooth, close, comfortable shave and a darn fine shave, upper darn fine shave result, which is something that I enjoy. So it was a very, very nice change of pace for me. So a big thank you to William Meredith again for the Zaza Blades, and a big thank you to Mike H. for his comments about the Zaza Blades that created this whole discussion. Gentlemen, thanks again very, very much. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a movie to you. Well, really can't recommend the movie to you because it hasn't been released, but I'm going to talk about it with you because it is coming out in another week, and I'm very, very intrigued by this because it also involves my cartooning roots, the National Cartoonist Society. I happen to meet this gentleman through the National Cartoonist Society and the Reuben Awards. We'll get into it in a little bit, but the heads up on this came from viewer R.H. Dave Wilson. And Dave writes, "Hi, Mark. Based on comments you've made on 3MB and Second Cup, I believe you're a Jesus follower, as I am." Yeah, that's true. I was born and raised Roman Catholic. I was baptized in the Roman Catholic Church. I'm Roman Catholic. I am a follower of Jesus, as you say, and very, very proud to state that as well. So yeah, Dave, thank you very, very much for that. He continues here, "With your background in cartoon artistry, at which you're excellent, by the way." You know what? Let me stop right there. Thank you very, very much for that. I sometimes look at my stuff and compare it to the real great, successful cartoonists out there, and I think to myself, what was I thinking? I sometimes think if I was really that good, I would have made a full-time living at it. I came close. I enjoy doing it. But hey, you know what? I really shouldn't discount it because you never know what's around the corner. It's really is to kind of turn a phrase, a funny business. As cartoonist Art Sansom once told me, "Yeah, Mark, you're going to be a 10-year overnight sensation." Meaning, a lot of cartoonists work many, many years, and all of a sudden they hit on something, and overnight they have all this great success. And a lot of folks don't realize that they've been working at it 10, 20, 25 years, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've enjoyed every minute of it, and it's enabled me to become a member of the National Cartoonist Society and meet a lot of great, talented cartoonists out there, especially one that we're going to be talking about right now in this particular segment. Let me finish Dave Wilson's email here. "I thought this linked article might interest you, especially since you take time to recommend good movies in Second Cup." Thank you very much for this, Dave. He concludes here, "Blessings for a great weekend, Dave." Dave, thank you very, very much. Here's the article. It is on Fox Media. The headline reads, "Disney veteran who left Hollywood for Christian animation brings new Jesus film to big screen." Tom Bancroft, animator who worked on Lion King and Mulan, explains how faith conflict with Disney led him to Christian animation. And here's what the article says here. "The Disney animator who brought Mushu and Simba to life left Hollywood to follow his faith, and now he's bringing Jesus to the big screen. Quote, 'This honestly is the film I never thought I wanted to do,' unquote, Tom Bancroft told Fox News Digital. Quote, 'It's kind of a dream project that I didn't know I was dreaming, and it's something I'm probably prouder of than even The Lion King,' unquote. Bancroft co-directed the new film Light of the World, which tells the story of Jesus Christ through the eyes of his young disciple, John. The coming-of-age tale traces John's friendship with Jesus, his struggle to accept the crucifixion, and ultimately his understanding of its true meaning. The film, hitting theaters September 5th, is animated in a classic 2D style, similar to Disney's Golden Era and DreamWorks' Prince of Egypt. Wow, that sounds really, really exciting. Now, I had the opportunity to meet both Tom and Tony Bancroft, they're twin brothers, and they worked for Disney all through that second golden age of animation. Aladdin, The Lion King, Little Mermaid, all those great films that have since become classic animation tales and to be enjoyed over and over and over by new generations. And yes, he did leave Disney and started his own animation studio, and now he's got this brand new movie out there. Tom is a very, very talented guy, a very, very friendly guy. And while I can't say that he's a really very, very good friend, I had a couple of chances to meet with him and his brother Tony and speak with them and talk about animation and Disney and cartooning and that sort of thing. And the really nice thing about Tom was that he treated me as a colleague, like a colleague, and really the guy is so incredibly talented. And what I do compared to what he does, I mean, my gosh, he is light years ahead of me and many other cartoonists out there. He's really, really a very, very talented guy. And I admire his talent so very, very much. And again, a really friendly guy. And there are some other videos on YouTube where he's talking about this movie project and how his Christian faith brought him kind of full circle to this project. Now, the one thing that I like about this movie is that it's telling the story of Jesus Christ through another character, his disciple John. I think that's the best way to tell a story about Jesus Christ. Don't do it directly, do it indirectly. The best example of this is Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston. Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. That was such a wonderful movie. I saw that when I was a kid, and it just profoundly affected me. And again, it wasn't about it was about Jesus Christ, but it wasn't. He was not the lead character. Judah Ben-Hur, played by Charlton Heston, was the lead character, and that's what made the movie all the more powerful. So I think that. Just on the surface of learning about this movie, I think that they've done the right thing here in telling a tale of the Christ through a different character, this one being the disciple John. And I tell you, if it's anything like Prince of Egypt, I think this is going to be a hit because I really like the Prince of Egypt. I thought that was an absolutely marvelous movie, and they did a wonderful job in the animation and the storytelling. And if you haven't seen Prince of Egypt, give that one a look too. You can get that on streaming. That was very, very well done. It was done by DreamWorks Animation. And in one of the interviews I saw, Tom Bancroft at that time was saying that Jeffrey Katzenberg, who had left Disney and formed DreamWorks Animation because Disney and Jeffrey Katzenberg kind of had a falling out. So Katzenberg formed DreamWorks Animation. He was trying to lure Tom Bancroft over to the animation studio to work on Prince of Egypt. And Tom said he had some other kind of opportunity at the time at Disney. So he kind of went in the Disney direction at that time. But some very, very interesting interviews with Tom Bancroft regarding his path and how he chose to leave Disney and take on this new path towards doing Christian animation and living out his faith and producing this movie here that is called, again, The Light of the World, or Light of the World. And he co-directed this film. So really looking forward to this. It comes out on September 5th. My thanks to Dave Wilson for the heads up on this. We'll link this article below so you can read more about it and also get some other links to other interviews that Tom Bancroft has done in promoting this movie. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's very, very successful. And with Tom Bancroft as co-director, I think it's going to be a terrific, terrific movie and a big, big hit. So looking forward to it. Thanks again to Dave Wilson for the heads up on Light of the World, co-directed by Disney animator or former Disney animator Tom Bancroft. We'll have a link to all this information below. Check it out. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show, and I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.